We show how to protect yourself from fraud.
Bad guys are like everybody else. They want to capture as much data in as short a period of time as possible.
The population of coyotes is on the rise in Edmonton.
Several times a week throughout the year they would get coyote calls, and now it's something like several times a day.
Really blow it out of the water and bring this new technology so that people can see how actual effective it is.
The Royal Alexander Hospital opens a new high-tech facility.
All this and more coming up on NAIT NewsWatch.
Good evening. The safety of your credit and debit cards may be at risk.
And you may not even know criminals have your banking information until it's too late. Our Bart Padiasek joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
City police have joined with the province to kick off Fraud Prevention Month. They hope to teach consumers about the threats before they learn the hard way. Student Erica Torok has had her fair share of fraud troubles. On a regular basis, she gets calls from her bank advising her that her debit card has been accessed illegally. She does not know how it happens, but is concerned it has to do with the places she uses it.
I would say in about a year, I'll get about 3 or 4 phone calls, and I'm not sure if it's the places that I'm going or it's just my bank being cautious for me, but it does happen quite a bit, I would say.
This is not uncommon, as Constable Elvin Toy says criminals will go to any means at getting to your money.
So they're going to be targeting your busy coffee shops, your busy fast food restaurants, your busy grocery stores. Anywhere this volume is more attractive to the bad guy. As technology advances in protecting your wallet, so do criminals. Most of these hacks have been done by organized crime, as it relies on a team to pull it off. To protect yourself, it's advised to change your PIN every 2 months, especially if you use it on a daily basis. Counterfeit bills were also an issue addressed this week. The Bank of Canada advises that shoppers should be on the lookout for any suspicious bills they receive.
When you get money as change, make sure that feels right to you. And there's a certain feel to it. Counterfeits generally will feel slippery or smooth.
New polymer bills contain safety features like the holographic strip and watermarks visible by light. The new $100 bill is already out, and the $50 is available this month. Meanwhile, Erica has learned her lessons from all of this and will be more careful in the future.
It's happened to me 3 or 4 times in a year, so I think it's smart to change your PIN every 2 months.
For more information on fraud prevention in Alberta, visit consumerinformation.ca.
Bart, how does the use of debit cards with embedded chips play into this? Are they safer to use in these machines than non-chipped cards?
Well, officers I spoke to mentioned that there are far less issues with chip cards, but wouldn't speak in certainties as far as how unbreakable they are. As far as card protection technology has advanced, so have the criminals and their technology.
Bart, changing your PIN seems like an easy step to protect your debit card. How regularly do people change them?
Most groups we talk to actually haven't changed their PIN since they first received the cards, and they don't really even think about it until they get a warning. That's an attitude local police hope to change this month.
Thanks, Bart. That's Bart Padiasek reporting live from our news center tonight.
This is NAIT NewsWatch.
There's been an increase of wild coyote sightings in residential areas, which has some residents concerned.
But experts say there are actions you can take to keep coyotes away from your home. Christine Vu has more on that story.
Coyotes have always been a part of Edmonton's wildlife, but with the recent increase of sightings in residential areas, residents and researchers alike have noticed that more coyotes have become more familiarized with humans.
Let's go.
Regan Berry was used to seeing coyotes every now and then around his acreage in Ardrossan, but became concerned once the wild animals started coming closer and more frequently.
They've come up to the house, and you basically have to chase them away. They have no problem hanging around where any of the people are.
U of A researcher Maureen Murray has been studying coyotes and has found that Berry's case is becoming more common in urban areas.
Several times a week throughout the year they would get coyote calls, and now it's something like several times a day. When they learn that an area, is rich in resources that no one's sort of like guarding from them, they'll learn that that's a good foraging area and sort of incorporate that into their home range.
Experts say there are steps you can take to keep coyotes away from your home, including storing garbage and compost in tightly sealed bins, keeping pet food indoors, and keeping pets on a leash. You can also report a sighting by calling 311. If you encounter a coyote, there are safe ways to ward them off.
You can throw sticks or something at it. The whole idea is coyotes have a natural fear of humans, and so they should be hesitant to approach. And if they are approaching you, then what you want to do is kind of encourage that fear behavior.
Barry has made some changes to the outside of his home to make it less coyote-friendly, but his main concern has always been protecting the family dog.
We can't leave them out for any periods of time, especially at night or whatever, because of their boldness, the coyotes will come and take them away.
As a part of their natural behavior, professionals predict that coyotes will travel farther in search of food as the warmer weather approaches.
Thanks, Christine. That's Christine Vu reporting from Horlock Park.
More than 100 students, professors, and others joined to protest at the University of Alberta this past Thursday. Protesters are asking the university to reconsider awarding the honorary degree to Nestle's CEO Peter Brabeck-Lemeth. Protesters say the award is a sign of increase in corporation influence at the university.
For the University of Alberta to say that they are giving Brabeck this award to acknowledge his positive contributions to water preservation and management distribution. We all know the alternative motives, and it's all about the money, right? This is a huge disgrace to the university.
Nestle is the world's largest bottled water company. Protesters say the corporation has unethical practices.
A new advanced medical training facility opened this week at the Royal Alexandra Hospital. The Robbins Learning Center will be used for healthcare professionals to share knowledge and compare techniques. Bill and Mary Jo Robbins' dedication to the community has made this learning center possible. Many see this facility as groundbreaking, considering the technology is so far advanced.
With this theater in particular, we could really blow it out of the water and bring this new technology so that people can see how actual effective it is to have the 3D capabilities for medical imaging, for all of the pieces that are related and linked into the training parts.
The facility contains an auditorium and 3 classrooms equipped with HD audiovisual technology that will allow users to connect with other learning facilities across North America.
Alberta has launched an online program to connect parents with their kids' schoolwork. Some children say little when being asked what they learned in school that day. This online tool allows parents to have a better understanding of what their child is learning. The Minister of Education feels there's a lot to look forward to, believing that it will be a powerful tool to all.
We are proposing that schools enter into partnerships with parents, with community, with non-for-profit agencies. So we're opening our curriculum open to everybody. There is nothing mysterious about our curriculum. Everybody can engage, everybody can teach, and everybody can participate.
A seminar was held at St. Joseph's High School to educate parents and teachers about the new program.
This year, nearly 15,000 cases of cancer will be diagnosed. With the help of research from the Tomorrow Project, it is hoped these numbers will decrease. The Tomorrow Project studies those ages 35 to 69 who had never been diagnosed with cancer in hopes of the knowledge that is gained will work towards a cure for future generations.
I mean, they said there was a research group for the long term on research in cancer, and I think that was an easy sell. I mean, I think everybody's interested in finding a cure and working towards a cure.
The research includes simple tests such as blood work and a urine sample, which will then be looked at a later date for comparison.
So basically, after 50 years, we'll pull all the samples and then basically compare people's DNA as far as what's the difference between someone who has developed cancer in our study versus someone who hasn't.
If you'd like to join the study, log on to infortomorrow.ca.
A recent study is showing young adults are purposely straining their voice in order to sound a certain way. Vocal fry is used by celebrities such as Kim Kardashian. The low, creaky sound is portrayed as sexy. Carol Dearden, a vocal therapist, sees it as
if you're using it continuously, then you're not using your voice at its optimum. So you can see that when the vocal folds are vibrating smoothly, this picture is nice and green. So you can see that there's a lot of red here, which shows that it's vibrating roughly.
Vocal fry can be very harmful to the voice and can cause permanent damage. People who speak normally can also have vocal fry.
We do tend to hear it at the end of sentences because we're dropping our pitch and the breath support is changing.
Dearden is also seeing an increase in vocal fry awareness.
The City of Edmonton accepted an award of merit from the Consulting Engineers of Alberta. The award was given to Edmonton project team following the designing and building of a tunnel cavity from the North LRT to NAIT during the same time period as the design construction of the Epcot Tower.
We were doing the planning for the North LRT line, and we met with the builders of the Epcot Tower and realized that they were ready to start construction, and our LRT tunnel had to go right under the building. So at that point in time, we both realized that we needed to work together. So we had to fast track our design.
The award recognized the efforts by all of the design team as well as demonstrating excellence in cooperative engineering.
Coming up after the break, the motor show is in town.
We take a look at some of the finest cars you'll ever see.
And Nick Barry reports on how gay and lesbian students deal with coming out.
Coming up after the break, we're going to talk some Special Olympics, we're going to look at some Ooks hockey, and I'm going to climb down a climbing wall.
The Edmonton Motor Show kicked off Thursday.
Companies from around the world showed off their top car models and cool concepts.
The annual event will have plenty for car lovers to look at, as hundreds of vehicles will be on display through 50,000 square feet of the Edmonton Expo Center. The show not only allows dealers to show off new models, but also gives those interested in a new vehicle the chance to shop around.
As a dealer organization, the benefit of an auto show is really a one-stop shop. It allows consumers to come in and see, first of all, everything that's new. In addition to it, it allows them to shop and compare.
Some new concepts showcased at this year's show include technology warning drivers about occupied blind spots and vibrating steering wheels that alert drivers who may have fallen asleep. The event runs until tomorrow.
So we've seen a little bit of a cold spurt in our weather, hey?
Yeah, but comparing the winter, this year's winter to last year's, you really can't complain.
That's true. Will, what do we have on the boards for this next week?
Well, we're going to be seeing some warm air pass through central Alberta, so we're going to see some warmer weathers during the weekend. Unfortunately, that will change after the warm weather passes through. If we check out the boards now, we are going to be seeing a low of -5 for Calgary and a high of +5, with a chance of windy and a 40% precipitation. Jasper is going to be seeing a high of -7 and a low of -11, with 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, and it's going to be very windy. Fort Mac, we're going to be seeing a high of -9 and a low of -12 with a 60% chance of snow. And well, Edmonton isn't going to be seeing that bad of weather, as we're going to be sitting at a high of 0 and a low of -6. So it's not bad compared to last year, which was -14 for the high and a -18 for the low. And well, in 1937, we saw a high of +16 and a low of -39 in 1884. So you can imagine they were going through a lot worse weather than we are right now.
Weather brought to you by NR92.
So guys, I wouldn't really say that we can complain much since we haven't really seen that bad of weather this year. It's a little bit chilly right now, but hopefully it's going to warm up as the month goes through.
Great, thank you, Will.
Thanks a lot.
For many students, the struggle with being open about their sexual orientation is a major issue they have to deal with.
NAIT NewsWatch's Nick Barry takes a look at some of the issues gay and lesbian students go through in this week's Student Body.
Post-secondary institutions are a place where stress rules, and for more and more people, the struggle with when to come out about their sexual orientation only adds to it. Stephen Shaw is a NAIT student and has been openly gay for about 6 years now, and he says that for some, it is difficult to find the support needed.
It's difficult because there are people who don't support you. Students nowadays, it is cruel. Like, you hear of all the students who commit suicide because they can't find an outlet or a mechanism how to deal and where to get support from that.
While Stephen's friends and family were mostly understanding and accepting, some don't find the same support system.
Margaret Marine, a student counselor at NAIT, says that students need to be prepared for the different reactions from them.
I think the person that's coming out has to be realistic that people may be shocked and that they're going to get that initial reaction. But the main thing that friends and family can do is listen and be supportive.
When counselors feel students need more advice or a better perspective on what's best for them personally, they refer them to organizations that are dedicated to helping young adults with those issues.
Shaw hopes everyone can get the help they need and has one message for those going through this.
Just stay strong and stay positive and do not give up on yourself.
If you are struggling with these issues, visit the Pride Center of Edmonton's website at pridecenterofedmonton.org. Nick Barry, NAIT NewsWatch.
Brett McNiven joins us in studio. And Brett, I heard the Special Olympics took place this week.
And I hear you have some basketball highlights for us.
Absolutely, guys. I was down in St. Albert this week to take a look at the Special Olympics, and I visited my old alma mater to take a look at some senior boys basketball. All that and more coming up in sports. Well, for some of us, 2012 marks the year of the Summer Games in London. However, in St. Albert, a different kind of Olympics was held this week. The 2012 Special Olympics Canada Winter Games took place this week in St. Albert, Strathcona County, and Jasper. Over 650 athletes, coaches, and trainers showed up for the 4-day event, while the athletes competed in floor hockey, curling, speed skating, snowshoeing, alpine skiing, figure skating, and cross-country skiing.
The fact that you're here smiling and we see you training, working, and you've trained for the last year, you're the success of the game, so thank you to the athletes.
The top finishers in the tournament will qualify for the Worlds in Korea. The Paul Kane Blues are one of the top Edmonton and area high school basketball teams, and they tipped off against the Bev Facey Falcons, who wanted nothing more than to eliminate the Blues in their semifinal match. We picked this one up late in the first half with the Blues up 4 when Khalil Burton gets this tough outside shot to drop. And right after that, he sends the slick pass right into the paint, and PK scores another 2. The Falcons try a desperation shot at the end of the quarter, but it's no good as we finish the half, Blues up 7. To the second half now, Bev Facey gets a nice 3 from Connor Rawson. But Tyler Wise replies for the Blues with a smooth jump shot. The Falcons get sloppy on the inbound, and Burton pounces on the loose ball for a deuce. Falcons guard Jackson Suster took the team on his back from there, scoring 7 straight points, capped off by the stretch lay-in.
Nice pass,
However, the Blues weren't going to let any sort of comeback happen as they hit not 1, not 2, but 3 outside shots in a row during an 11-0 run for PK. It turned out to be too much for the Falcons as the Blues win this one by 20.
About the last 3 minutes of the third quarter, that's when we opened it up, and then before I knew it, we were up 30, and then 25.
The Blues will head to the finals tonight in less than an hour at Archbishop O'Leary High School. The NAIT men's hockey team will be facing their toughest test this season when they face off against the #1 ranked Mount Royal Cougars. After beating Concordia 2-1 in their quarterfinal series, the Ukes have been matched up against Mount Royal for a spot in the finals. The Ukes finished the regular season in 4th place and know what kind of team they face in the Cougars. After failing to beat the Cougars in 4 tries this season, head coach Serge Lajoie knows there's a lot of work to be done.
We're still looking for a complete game, and I think the closest we came to that is the last game, the deciding game on Sunday where we won 4-1, but still there was a few holes and inconsistencies in our game, so that's going to be our focus moving forward.
The series will take place this weekend. Most people associate rock climbing with extreme sports, and while I may not be an extreme sport kind of guy, for this week's End Zone Challenge, I went down to Vertically Inclined to see what rock climbing is really about.
Hey Brett, so welcome to Vertically Inclined. My name's Zach, I'm your instructor today. So first thing we got to do for climbing is get you some shoes.
Zach Krudis has been climbing for over 10 years, and he shared some of his climbing knowledge with me. After helping me get my shoes and harness on, he told me about some of the different types of climbing.
So the 3 different types of climbing that we do here in the gym are bouldering, top roping, and lead climbing. Now, bouldering is when you're climbing sideways against the wall, and we actually don't have any rope or gear attached to you when you do this. So the second type of climbing, top roping, that's when we actually hook you into a rope system. We have a person on the ground that's called the belayer. They're there to make sure the rope is nice and tight for the climber. And then we actually have the actual climber, which is going up and down the wall. Now, the third type of climbing that we have is called lead climbing. It's usually for people who've been climbing for a little while, have some good experience with it. Lead climbers go in the ceiling section of the gym, and there's no rope on the ceiling, so what they have to do is they take a rope from the ground and clip it into what we call quick draws that are bolted into the wall. The thing is, though, with lead climbers, there's a lot of slack in the rope, so as they're climbing, if they do happen to take a fall, it's usually a pretty big one.
So after learning everything I needed to know, it was my turn to hit the wall. And hey, with a little bit of help, even I managed to reach the top.
So Brent, when you reach the top of the wall, you can ring the bell, hit the black bar, do a funky dance if you feel like.
So while I may have reached the top of this wall, I don't think I'm ready to take on Mount Everest just yet.
You're going to climb up, you're going to stand up fully straight on that.
I'd like to thank Zach and Vertically Inclined for graciously letting me come in and climb with them.
You look like you had a lot of fun out there, Brett.
Zach seemed like he kind of knew what he was talking about.
Oh yeah, Zach's done some amazing climbs all over the world, even in places like Turkey.
Holy, right on. Coming up after the break, Kyle and I give Meals on Wheels a helping hand.
We helped cook up meals for those in need.
Coming up on NAIT NewsWatch, I check out one of Alberta's popular dance groups. NAIT NewsWatch jackets, sponsored by JobSite Workwear.
This past week, Kyle and I traded in our dress clothes for aprons.
We visited the Meals on Wheels headquarters earlier this week to lend a helping hand.
Meals on Wheels is a non-profit organization that helps to serve not only seniors, but those with disabilities and illnesses as well. We are put to good use immediately, layering and filling desserts and prepping food for the dinner delivery later that night.
We didn't have volunteers to rely on. There's just no way that we would be able to put out 200 hot meals a day, 200 frozen meals a day. In about any given year, we go through 15,000 pounds of potatoes. So that's a lot of potatoes that need to be peeled and chopped and that. So we really rely on those volunteers to come in and help us with that.
To learn more, go to mealsonwheelsedmonton.org. From finding out the best dining events in town to a video that will warm everyone's heart.
Also checking out a popular Ukrainian dance troupe, our entertainment reporter Anna Stanislaw has everything covered.
Edmonton may be known to host various food events throughout the year, and this one won't disappoint, as food lovers everywhere will have their taste buds tingling with delight. The 9th annual Downtown Dining Week began on Friday with over 20 different restaurants involved. Sorrentino's is one of the restaurants offering multi-course meals at a fixed price.
Edmonton has such phenomenal dining, and it's a great way to showcase our chefs' talents.
Whether you prefer crab cake, lamb shank, or grilled salmon fillet, there are many options to choose from.
Lots of different flavors, real good traditional Italian style.
The event runs until March 11th. For more information, visit www.edmontondowntown.com. Color, power, and grace are just some of the words to describe the Ukrainian Shumka dancers. Shumka, meaning whirlwind in Ukrainian, arrived back in Edmonton, coming from a 3-show tour in Ontario. The professional dance company is celebrating their 50th anniversary with Shumka at 50. Trinity Shopik hopes that audiences will not only be entertained, but moved as well.
For me, it's love, and I just hope that they feel that I love doing what I do. I get to share a gift that, I have with everybody. So I hope that when they watch it, they're just as either inspired or breathless and just energetic, just as we are when we're done.
Shumka at 50 ends tomorrow at the Northern Alberta Jubilee Auditorium. Excitement filled the air as Canada's longest documentary film festival is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Global Vision's Film Festival kicked off with Youth Media Day. Over 300 students came to a special screening to be exposed to social, economic, and environmental issues. Guy Lavallee, the program director, hopes the films will engage people and have a positive effect on them.
We want people to come to this festival and see a film that go, wow, I thought I knew everything about this subject, but I really didn't. But I was really engaged and entertained by the way this filmmaker told this story. That's really important.
The documentaries were chosen from all over the world and will run until Sunday, March 4th.
I've noticed fewer and fewer people have.
Not only do we celebrate our sports teams, we also pay tribute to the city's most talented artists. Mayor Stephen Mandel and the Professional Arts Coalition of Edmonton announced the nominees on Thursday for the 25th Annual Mayor Celebration of the Arts. 19-year-old Sean Sonego was one of the nominees for the Emerging Artists Award.
It's an honor to be nominated, especially if you've heard the nominees. They're all incredible artists and people in the city that are so committed to what they do, and it's pretty incredible to be out there with them as well.
The Mayor's Celebration of the Arts will be held on April 2nd, an evening filled with entertainment. You know that moment when you sometimes stretch the truth? Well, I think viewers can definitely relate to this one.
Jack McCall, played by Eddie Murphy, is a literary agent who abuses the truth to the wrong guy.
What the hell was that? You and this tree are now connected.
Hello?
When you talk, all the leaves fall off the tree.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back ribs.
What happens when a tree loses all its leaves?
I could die? What do I got, 1,000 words left?
Can we talk?
So what do you say we make a deal? Hello, Jack.
What with the pointing and the grunting? Just be here with me right now.
You know you make me wanna. Our words have a profound effect on the entire universe. You want me to do all the talking? Just do what you would do? I'm gonna need y'all quit playing with me and pull out your big guns. I'm Aaron Weisberger. You better recognize, son. Jack, look at you, Sweat. Just chill out, homie. I got this.
Viewers to tweet at NAIT NewsWatch will win passes to 1,000 words along with a prize pack. And for this week's viral video, Man's Best Friend grooves to the music. That's all for entertainment. I hope you guys enjoyed. Back to you.
And that's all we have for you tonight, folks.
We'll see you guys next time.